Hey, welcome back to another My Two Good Hands video. We are out on the RV and we are working on our solar project. What are we going to do? We're putting on the roof a 200 watt panel. Now, there's some other things you got to do before you can't just put a panel up there. So this is a Thor motorhome. First thing we did was we went and we contacted Thor, and this girl Amanda got back with us, and she shared a whole bunch of cool stuff that we'll show you later, but she gave me the layout of the roof where all the struts are to mount the panel to. She also told me it was built solar ready. She told me what the wires were. She gave me the wiring diagrams, a whole bunch of great stuff from Thor. So we are set there, and we will show you that as the project goes through. But let's talk about what we're really going to do here. You're going to put on solar panels, you got to have a controller. So this is what we bought. We bought the Rover. We bought a 40 watt. You're saying, why'd you buy a 40 watt? Well, there's a reason we bought a 40 watt. If we ever want to put two panels up there for the 200 watt to become 400 watts, gonna need a 40 amp system. So we did buy the 40 amp controller. Now we're going to set it up to run 30 amp for now. But we're going to open up this box, show you what's in there. We're also going to show you what we got to do down below, because you got to mount this thing somewhere. And there's not any real good places that are visible to mount it. Here's the real cool thing. Bluetooth included here, okay? So we got the Bluetooth model, so we'll be able to eventually put an app on our phone and show you that, hopefully. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. Don't forget, Amazon links are below. There's a whole bunch of wiring we're going to do, even though we're solar ready. We've got hookups to do on the roof, hookups to do down here. So this is under the dinette on our Thor motorhome. The wires for the solar that come from the roof are right here. So these just run up to the connectors. There is a white and orange wire in here. What's interesting is nowhere do the instructions tell you which one's positive and negative. But we know down here, there's our ground bus with all the white wires. So we believe the white one here is ground. We'll be able to check that out. Now, we've got open space over here. Possibility to mount a controller. We got some open space here. Now, you can put the controller here and just wire right in, like the instructions will tell you. Hook up your battery, then hook up your controller. But you got no way to shut off your panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure here and figure out what kind of panel we need to mount there, or piece of wood to mount on those two struts there, so that we can put in an on-off switch, and we'll show you that. And then over here, we're going to mount our Rover. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take the Rover controller over to the bench, and we're going to go put it over there. Well, first thing we're going to do is we'll put them on our switch here. Now, we don't have the switch yet, but we know it's coming, and we also know it's 7 inches. So what do we have here? Between the posts, we got 8 inches, so 8 inches. And if we make it 8 inches in the other direction, it'll fit there pretty well. One thing to be careful of on your motorhome, see the cut I just got? Along here where they staple the fabric and stuff on, they're not real good at making sure everything's safe. So if you come up here, there's a whole bunch of staples. I don't know if you can see how I'm laying them over, just at the edge of my tape measure. So we know that we're going to make one panel. We're going to write it down. We're going to make it 8 by 8, and we're going to mount and drill it in there. But we're going to get that cut on the wood, on the table saw. Now we also have to figure out what we're doing with said Rover. So let's get the Rover controller here over on the bench. Let's open it up and show you what we got. Okay, let's open up our Rover and see what we get in here. Oh, we get a lot of stuff. So you've got a Bluetooth module, instruction book, how to plug it in, how to use the app. So we're gonna be saving that. We get some stickers we can put on our window if we want. Don't know if we'll ever do that, but got them. So that manual, you do get the manual here, the quick guide on how to install it. Tells you what's in the box. Looks like we get some nice brackets. That's a good thing. Gives you the layout of how to hook it up and how your panel should be, where your battery should be. And it says load, but our load's off of our battery. Now, if you want to see the load, you got to put it there. But the problem with putting it there is you can't put any heavy loads. So it gives you all the information here on the different parts. We did order this fuse. We don't have it yet. We need a 10 and 14 millimeter wrench and a screwdriver. We'll get through that. And they're telling us about the panel. We're telling us how to mount it and where we need clearance. How to tighten the screws. Again, here they tell you put the wire in, but we are going to put furrows on our wire because furrows make a better connection. We'll show you that separate video. This is kind of the introductory here. So I'll tell you how to hook up the panel and everything. We'll get that hooked up. And we can do that because we're going to have a switch where we can turn it on and off. So we can wire this entire system. So here's our Bluetooth module. We're going to take our Bluetooth module, and so it doesn't get damaged, along with all our literature here. And we're going to go put this on the counter in the RV. Back. Let's pull this thing out and see what we've got. All right. We have got a temperature sensor. This monitors a temperature sensor on our battery. So we're going to go take this. We're going to go with another item. We'll go put it in the RV. And we got the brackets. The brackets make this easier to mount. So we're going to use those. So let's take off these two plastic chunks here. Put them in the box. Again, Renogy Rover. All right. Yeah, you can get these a lot cheaper if you don't go with the 40 amp. So one of the first things we're going to do is look at adding these to it. But we're going to measure this real quick. 10 inches. We're going to go in the RV and see how close 10 inches gets us to the bottom of our seat. They do want you to have clearance. See, this has a lot of vanes on the back here for cooling. We're going to make a wood mount, and we're going to be able to open up part of it in the back so that you can get more cooling. So we'll do that. So let's go in the RV and see how the 10-inch height is going to work for us. So here's what we found out. We're going to make some notes here. Get the pen out. We know that we got 15 inches of height. So we got 15 inches. So if we make our part that we're going to mount this to 14 inches tall, it'll be a little short from the thing to the seat. So let's put this together and see what we got. Open up this bag here. Okay, so Phillips screwdriver. Two Phillips screwdriver. Looks like we could turn this over. Let's set it on this foam so we don't damage it at all. And looks like these would go on there just like this. And those go down pretty nice. We'll go around, we'll do these, and we'll bring you back. We're going to do some measurements for some layout. So we cut ourselves out a piece of cardboard so we can put this on there. We can get our tape measure. And we know that if this is the top, we can come down 14 inches, and that's as tall as we can be. So we're just going to put a couple marks here and here at 14. And we're going to drive a line across there with a straight edge. And if I had one here, there we go. So we got a piece here we can put as a straight edge. Now we know that that can go all the way to the floor. That's the top at 14. We know that we want this on. Once we put this on here, we get this cut out. We'll put this on here somewhere around here. We're also going to want to come down here and say this is where it's where our opening needs to be here for our cooling vents. So what we're going to do is we're going to go cut a piece of wood 14 by 12. Then we'll go in the RV and we're going to measure it up for you. So let's get to the saw and let's cut this 14 by 12 and let's cut our 8 by 8. So we're back down in the basement here, and going to figure out what kind of radiuses we're going to put on these. We're going to kind of look here. Okay, that's okay. That's pretty nice. This is pretty nice. This is a 3-inch. We just use what we do is we put these on there. So we're going to just put this on here like this, and come in like this. And that's all we need on that one. Same thing on this one. Here. That'll be it for that part. This one, we marked out our hole. You can see where our hole is going to be for our cooling, but we have to do 2 arcs out on this too. So we're just going to put our arcs up here. Double check to make sure that's in the right spot. So that should have that. Yep, we're towards the top, so that's perfect. So we're going to go ahead and fire up the old scroll saw here and get them cut out. If we're actually on. Oh, we are. Look at that. We are on. So that's good that we're on. And then you can come in here and just kind of follow the line. All right. Okay, so you can see we've got those cut off, real nice radiuses on all of them. Take them upstairs and deburr them. One thing left, we have to cut this open. So to cut this open, we're going to go get our drill out, and we're going to get a hole saw. We're going to put a hole saw in each corner. Let's see what we got in our hole saw bin here. We're not going to put this huge saw in here. We could though, couldn't we? Yeah, we could. And that would be really big. What else do we have here that's smaller? Got this one. I think we're going to go with that one. So we're going to go up and get our drill, and then we'll come down and drill our holes. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this up in our vise here. So here we're in our vise. We need to take our hole saw and line it up in the corners and come in and draw some circles out. Put that out. Okay, that marks. Okay. And it's very hard to see, isn't it? If I can see it at all. I see this one. Okay, so I can see them barely. So what I'm going to do is come in here and mark them. And I see that one. That one. That one. That one. Okay, so I see them. I marked them. Now, before I put my hole saw, I'm going to come drill the hole right in the center of the... Okay, now we can put our hole saw on here. There we go. Locked up. Locked up. We're going to go ahead and drill those through, and we'll bring you back. We're going to drill them from both sides. By drilling from both sides, we don't get a big breakout in the middle. There we go. We came through with one. Dig this out. Maybe. So now we're going to take a straight edge and mark between them and cut them out. Okay, so back from the basement, and we got to round all these parts. Now, you've seen us do it in the router, but we're not going fancy on this. Nobody really sees it. So what we're doing is just firing up a little pedestal grinder here. Make a nice edge on there where we got a little bit of the edge is nice. That's all we're going to do. Oh, the back side's done all the way around, pretty nice. The front side, we're just doing a little bit. That's that. Go to fire up the air compressor and get the center of this done with a hand tool. So our plan here is to clean up these edges. So this will be in the RV. We can we're going to put that up like this. Make sure this is well, there we go. So the next thing we're going to do is start screwing this together. This is going to go like this. And then we're going to put the two side pieces in here, like this here, that go in. So we're going to start by putting this in here, and we're going to glue these. So what we're going to do is put some glue on the edge and start it together. We'll actually do it this way, because that way it'll look nicer. Always when you open your glue, it never seems to be, always seems to be plugged. There we go. Okay, so we got our clamp here. Let's get our clamp open up all the way here. It's not going to go that way, but it's got to go this way anyhow, so it'll be okay. You got to go this way. So we should be good here. Should be good. We're going to put this like this. Going to try to get some glue on here. Now when we put this up here like this, you get some this clamp on here like this. Once we got this clamped pretty good, make sure it's straight, make sure the glue isn't oozing out in here. And then we did bring ourselves some screws up. So we can put a few screws in this. And we're just going to make the screws flush. So there we go. We got it really, a really nice thing here. The controller will fit here. We'll kind of make our glue not stick out and look ugly here. We're going to let the glue dry a little, and then we're going to paint this along with this, both sides in the flat black. Before we paint this, going to mark our holes for our controller on here. We're letting it stick up a little bit. We got plenty of places to plug the wires in. Marked our holes. We know where our holes are. We're going to pick out our screws and see what size drill bit we got to use. Found the screw size we're going to use. Now we need to find a drill to drill the holes. Again, we got all kinds of drills here. Don't want to drill the holes too much oversized. This might be the exact size right here. Oh, we're going to put this right on here and see what we get. Let's see if that's the size we want. Well, I think we want a little bigger than that, huh? Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drill them all this size, and then we're going to open them up. Now let's see what we got that's a little bit bigger. Oh, shoot, now we dropped it. Then we're going to see what we have that's a little bit bigger than this. It's a little bit bigger, okay. The nice thing is now the holes are all the way through. Now the holes are through, so you can come from this side. Now, oh yeah, that'll go in nice. We got some washers. Between the washers and the nuts, you can see we have a little bit of hanging through, but it won't be bad. So there we go. Let's get set up to paint these. So we're doing this outside, so don't have to worry too much here. Matter of fact, this one here, we're going to set on top of a can like this so that it can get painted all over. This one we aren't going to worry about as much because we're going to flip it. So let's do this one first. Got a lot of used cans. We hope they work. It appears to work. Okay, so we're going to try one of our other junk cans of paint. Oh, much better. Yeah, that's the end of that can. Well, there we go. We're going to go ahead and let these dry for a while before we bring them in the house. But we'll bring them in, they'll dry overnight, and we'll be able to continue on this project tomorrow. Hey, welcome back. So our paint's dry today. So one of the things we're going to do, we're going to test fit this in the RV, which we did, and now we're going to drill the holes. So what we want to do is want to drill the holes so they're in the center of the tube. We're going to go measure the tube and be sure we've double checked the dimensions. So our tubes are 1 inch. So we are going to come in by 1/2 inch, and we're going to make some marks. So we're going to find ourselves a pencil here. And we're going to come in 1 inch and make 1/2 inch and make a mark. And then we are going to come down 1/2 inch and also make a mark. And we'll do the same thing over here and over here. So we know where those two go. Now we're not going to come down all the way because it's real hard to work in the bottom of the RV. So what we're going to do is come down about this far. This is where the Bluetooth is going to go. And we're going to a 1/2 inch mark there. Come across this way. 1/2 inch mark here. And then we are going to come down this way and see where we're at. We're at about 4.5. So we'll put that right at 4.5. And this one right at 4.5. So now we've got 4 spots marked. The reason we're drilling with a tap drill is we're going to use this as a template once we get in the RV. So good. Going to move to the RV and drill our holes in the metal. And then we'll be able to open these up for clearance later. So our key here now, put this up here like this. We're going to have to put a clamp on here somewhere to see if we can clamp this in place. That's while we spot all our holes. We line this up. This. Good. So now we can come in here and spot these holes. That should have given us enough to see where these holes are at. Oh yeah. Oh, you can see the holes real good there. All the spots. So now we're going to go ahead and drill those, and going to get ourselves a couple drops of oil for that. It would help to put a little oil on your spots when you drill. Help lubricate your drill a little. One done. Okay, so there we go. Gonna go get our tap and holder and be able to tap some holes. So our next step is to tap this. So we're gonna put a little oil on the tap. The drop. We're gonna come in here and line this thing up, and what you do is you turn this in just a little bit, back it off, break the chip. I think we don't have our collar tight enough here. Just keep working it in like this. Seems like our collar get loose here. Once you get it through, you want to turn it in a little bit till it gets loose like this. And then you can just grab it and spin it out. And it's just a matter of going and doing the rest. We won't let you watch that, but we'll go ahead and do the other 4, and we'll bring you back when we go to screw the panel in. So we went ahead and made some pilot holes. You can see how our screw hangs out the back just a little bit. So we can go ahead and put this on here. It won't be the easiest, will it? We will get it here. Oh, we're just going to keep going around like that and get these all in there. So now it's just a matter of tightening up the screws. You would tighten them all so the screw heads are aligned flat so that we can know where we're at here. By lining the screw heads up, we'll know if anything's vibrating loose on the road. Okay, there we go. Our switch gear is going to go right here. Our Bluetooth will go right below it. And we'll test that all out as we start installing it. Again, here's our solar wire. Now, I'm going to go get the other piece, and we can look at what we have for our controller. We got a series of bolts and nuts here, washers. We're going to use to mount this up. We're just going to hang it on there to see how it looks, because we're not going to mount anything until we get all the wires into these holes. So for grins here, we'll put the 2 top screws in. But basically, that's what that'll be like. The wires will come out here. We'll be mounting the fuse right here that goes to the batteries. Again, we'll have the solar panel coming in here, the battery here. This is your load. There's also a place for the Bluetooth and a place for the temperature sensor. So let's show you where that's going to go once we get everything going. Here like this. It's going to mount just like this. I'm going to screw it to the floor right there with a couple of screws. You can see how nice that looks in there. Again, we made this opening in the back. Made that opening in the back there so we can see all the cooling fins and everything. So for now, that's how that's going to stay. And that's going to conclude this video. So our plate is ready. Our plate is ready for our switch and control. Now, they'll tell you don't put a switch in. We're putting a switch in. There's our wires for our solar right there. And here's our controller all ready to drop in. We're just going to have to get it mounted and get all the wires on it. Test the system. Then we'll bolt it to the floor. We still have to drill some holes through here for the battery to go to the ground. Go underneath. Go to our battery box over here. See you soon. So that concludes this video section on how we're going to mount our solar controller. You see we've got the one plate there that we put in. If you don't have those brackets, you can make another L bracket like we did for the controller. But we're going to get our switch. That's due Monday. And then some of the other stuff's due Monday. So we're stuck. We'll try to finish this up maybe in the next week or so. But I'll post these videos once a week right in a row when we do it. So like and subscribe, post notifications on, use the Amazon links to shop, help support my 2 good hands. We'll see you in another video very soon. RV how-tos, boat how-tos, you know it. We save you money on do-it-yourself projects. See you soon.